Asher next at noon on Sports 1280 New Orleans. Jeff is jamming.
Thank you, Dave.
You are welcome as always.
That's
never
Wolf's
heard this
Den.
before. This is awesome.
That's the group that Dolores O'Riordan was working with she was going to provide the vocals for that cover of Zombie, but literally was on her way to meeting them to do it. She died.
Man.
And they were like, they thought about not releasing the track because they wanted her on it. They didn't want to be disrespectful to her, but from the Cranberries camp, they said that this is one of their favorite covers of that song.
No, that's strong.
That is way they've strong. Done, and they said no, completely do this. And then Wolf's Den said all the proceeds from that song are going to go to Dolores' children.
So there wasn't Nickelback, right? Claude's ready to stab me, even mentioning that. But I'm right? Not Nickelback?
It's not Nickelback. It's Wolf's Den.
Well, it's not Wolf's Den either. It's Bad Wolves.
Bad Wolf? I'm sorry. I thought it was Wolf's Den.
It's the Katzensteins.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm sure he'll love that. Oh, boy.
All the rest of that was true, except the name.
Claude's got everything except the name right.
The name.
I mean, he had a lot of details, so I would have believed him. You could have called it the Mouseketeers.
This whole time, just making stuff up. We assume he's right. Anybody fact check this?
The Copenhagen turn.
Fact checker.
The Copenhagen turn. All this stuff about rugby.
Are you sure about the Copenhagen turn?
Is the Shrimp and Petroleum Fest even real?
Oh my God!
Is Morgan City even real?
We have to.
Are you real?
Morgan City is like Wakanda. You guys will never be allowed into it.
Whatever is real, we
Morgan
know
City
he's
forever.
top of the box.
We sure your name is Clyde? We sure?
Can we get on with this?
He's in the witness protection
program. I said, all the rest of that stuff is true. The name, I read it very quickly. I listened to the song. It's very good. They're going to donate the proceeds to this woman's children. It's a very nice thing that they're doing.
All right, do it for the kids.
They're going on tour with like Five Finger Death Punch and a couple other guys.
We sure the name of that band is right?
I was about to say.
Okay.
I'll Google it.
I'm done here. Google it, Dave.
As long as we can get Nelson and maybe
see what I'm saying? Why
Hanson
you ruin it?
Come back.
Why do you have to go to the blonde ones, man?
Because I mean,
there are other blonde.
They're pretty hair, pretty. Anyway, all right.
Future instability.
Exactly. Thank you, David. Dennis Lauscha. The most important question that I know plenty of fans around here, around the globe, are wondering. What is the future and stability of the team? This is Dennis Lauscha.
I go back. I mean, I think we're on rock solid footing. I mean, to be honest with you, you have a person who owns a team who's from New Orleans, who believes in New Orleans, believes in the people in New Orleans. I could not even fathom those two teams not being here in New Orleans when she's the owner. I'm the president of the company is from New Orleans. I couldn't fathom these two teams not being in New Orleans. Again, Mr. Benson could never fathom that. I mean, most of the executive staff are all from New Orleans. I mean, we believe that these franchises should be in New Orleans. And to be quite honest with you, I mean, we've been pretty successful. I mean, you look at this is a small market, but it supports two NBA and NFL franchises. And thanks to our fans and thanks to this community, it supports them very, very well. And, one thing Benson told me is, just because we're a small market doesn't mean anything else. We kick butt, whether it's the business side or the football field, or basketball court, and we continue to do that. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I understand the question, sure. But I can't imagine we couldn't be in more rock solid ground than we are.
Sorry for the wind again.
Wow,
but
sounds like we're in a hurricane.
It was quite windy out there, even though it was a beautiful day. But look, they've people are wondering that because, of course, the thing that was never even mentioned throughout the interview was the potential for the 3 R's to maybe come back and challenge some of these rulings in court. I don't think it's clear that if we know that they're going to do this or not. And I could tell you, Jeff and I both confirmed that the 3 R's, Renee, Rita, and Ryan, did have their own private visitation of Tom Benson.
Wednesday night, I believe. Wednesday night out at Lakeview and Lake Lawn, I guess it is. And, that was something that was arranged between the two camps, and I think made perfect sense and was the right thing to do.
Yes, but look, they're heavily confident in I know there was a report out there from Jason Lockenfora saying they're going to have to sell, what is it, sell the Pelicans or sell the Saints or something for taxes? I don't know.
Yeah,
That was the Pelicans.
That was I don't know what Jason was reporting on that, because Jason's a good reporter, but that seemed a little off on that one. And let me interject real quick on a little different note, but I think something of interest to our listeners is the health of Steve Gleason. I've had a chance to talk with some of his family members, and they're hoping Steve is released today from Ochsner Medical Center. He's been in since late last week. He was not feeling well and had a fever. And, you know, when you're in the condition that Steve is in, you have to check on these things quickly. And he was admitted to Ochsner Medical late last week, and he's actually been improving daily, and they're hoping he gets a chance to go home today. I know some people were concerned about his health, but don't be. I mean, obviously, he's a beloved figure here in New Orleans, and a lot of people are interested in how he's doing. But he had to unfortunately spend his 41st birthday in the hospital on Monday, and a camp went out of a bunch of his friends and family and celebrated his 41st birthday with him on Monday night. But knowing Steve, he's ready to get home because he does not want. No one wants to be in the hospital, but Steve Gleason is a free spirit as anybody I know, and the last place he wants to be is in the hospital anytime, much less his birthday.
No doubt about it. But, yeah, look, again, just if you're wondering, Tom Benson visitation, that will end in an hour at Notre Dame Seminary. So if you want to get out there and pay your respects and just pick up go say hello to Gayle Benson and some of the Saints brass. You also get a prayer card if you like, sign the guest book, and kind of be documented that you went. You be able to do that for the next hour. Then there'll be a more private visitation for Saints employees, former Saints players, current Saints players, Pelicans, and maybe some other dignitaries, I guess for lack of a better term. They'll be there this afternoon, so don't try to go then because you won't be let in. And then tomorrow is the funeral mass at St. Louis Cathedral, and I think the private burial will be at Metairie Cemetery.
Metairie Cemetery, yeah.
Yes. And then it should be quite a scene tomorrow, as I reported this morning. I mean, there's going to be 5 current or former sports commissioners expected to be at the services. You're going to have NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. Their predecessors, Paul Tagliabue and David Stern, along with David Baker, who we've had on the program. You just had him on last week.
Yes.
Former commissioner of the Arena Football League and the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, great show. If you missed any of it, sports1280.com, NOLA.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube page. Clyde will have some updates later on NOLA.com. I want to thank Todd Masson, our outdoors guru from NOLA.com and Times-Picayune. Also, Joe Christofek from the Fairgrounds Talk Louisiana Derby. So we have another great show coming up tomorrow. But after us, Eric Asher from noon to 2, Chris Gordy 2 to 4.